live once again. As usual, if you're tuning in to this video when it is no longer live, look in the description. There'll be a timestamp for when the questions start, which is usually about, I say 5 minutes, but let's be honest, 10 minutes after I start the video, because I like to give people a little bit of time to log on. My microphone is a long way away from me for some reason. Let me move my microphone closer to me. There we go. And I like to span the link around a bit. Hello, mysterious number one person who always tunes in as soon as I go live. All right, let me span the link around a little bit first so that everybody can tune in. Not Wi-Fi, it's Facebook. Here we go. 2 people. Okay, so I need to post on the page, Virtual Aussie Pub Quiz on Facebook. Need to actually type a message, would be good. I need to learn how to type. Okay. Okay, posted on the page. And I'll post on the event, which I remembered to post this week. Okay. And the other usual places where I post. Chris Falafel, I am on Virtual Aussie Pub Quiz. If you go on Facebook. First time player, good to see you. So we generally start about 7:35, I would say. Hello, Pierrot. So plenty of time to go and grab a drink or some snacks or whatever you want to do. In a few minutes, I'll explain how it all works. But yeah, in the meantime, if you want to be informed of future events, as Chris does, go to Virtual Aussie Pub Quiz on Facebook and like the page or whatever. Or subscribe to this YouTube channel, or just tune in about 7:30 most Tuesdays, Sydney time. Okay, let me post this thing. I was going to post, spamming the link around all over the internet. People can tune in. Oh, I've got an itchy nose. Stop touching your face. COVID. Okay, there we go. That's posted there. That's posted there. I think that's everywhere, pretty much. One last place. Ooh. Is that going to connect automatically or not? Yes, it is. Okay, cool. Alrighty then, close that. Right, what else do I need? Questions would be good. I better open up my questions file, otherwise we're going to have a very short quiz. So if you're just tuning in, we'll be starting in about 5 minutes. Just giving everybody a chance to tune in. Generally about 7:35 is when we get started. Sydney time, or whatever that is in your local time zone. Okay, is that our questions file? Yes, it is. Okay. Hello, Simone. Okay, good, good. All right, how are we all doing on this fine evening in the age of resurgent COVID, unfortunately? Seems to be slowly kicking off in New South Wales again. Hello, Pierre. It's we got a few of the regulars, and at least one new player. That's good. It'd be good if people would tell their friends to tune in, get a few more regulars. It'd be nice. But it's no bad thing having a small select group. Hello, Caroline. Is it Caroline or Carolyn? I guess it's very hard for you to answer that question in text. Simone, just had lovely Chinese takeaway to celebrate my son's 16th birthday today. Well, congratulations to Master Bailey. I have a 13-year-old son. It's an interesting time of life. Caroline is Line, not Lynn. Hello, Caroline. Kim says, hello, Sister Meg and Paul. Hello, Kim. Hello, Meg. Hello, Paul. Okay, so we get started in about 3 minutes from now. Tonight, I am drinking, same as last week, Young Henry's Newtowner for no particular reason. Other beers are available, but they were cheap at Woolies, I imagine, was probably why I bought them. Okay, so in case you don't know how this all works, oh, good to know, Simone. Yes, teenagers are interesting. I have a 13-year-old boy and a 12-year-old girl in this household, and it's interesting. Hello again, Chris. Pierrot is drinking Cottee's sparkling raspberry and citrus sugar-free. Okay, I'll tell you how you play, Chris. And any other new listeners/viewers. This is basically your standard pub trivia, which I would normally, on a Tuesday night, be hosting at a pub near me. Can't do that at the moment because of COVID, of course. So the way this works, you don't need to be the fastest person in the comments. You don't need to type the answers quickly anywhere or anything. You're basically just playing against yourself or against the quiz or against your friends if you've organized it in advance. But the way it works is I just read out the questions, and then at the end of the round, I read out the answers, and you mark yourself, and we'll see how we go. It's as simple as that. That way, it doesn't matter if 5 people play or 500 people play. And the people who can type the fastest don't get the extra points for speed because it doesn't matter. Right, so if you do want to organize in advance and be told in advance about events, you should go to the Facebook page, Virtual Aussie Pub Quiz, where you can find links to all of our previous rounds, as well as being informed of our upcoming rounds. Caroline is having a rosé celebrating a new job. Nice one, Caroline. That's pretty good extra bonus points for doing it during the age of COVID, when jobs are even harder to come by. Simone is enjoying a cup of tea. Hello, elated Matt. Hello, Narelle. Well, quite a crowd tonight. That's good. And what do you know? It's now 8:25. So last quick explanation. The way it's going to work is we have 3 rounds. The first round is 20 questions of relatively easy questions. I don't really do super easy trivia, but it's relatively easy trivia. And then I give you the answers. And then we have round 2, which is 20 questions of less easy trivia. And then I give you the answers. And then we have round 3, which is our very difficult / silly / trick question, 10 questions. And if you get any of those right, you're doing pretty well. That's basically for the questions I can't really put in the normal rounds because people will get grumpy. And then at the end, we have a Who Am I, which you can use to settle any tiebreaker that you might be in, or you can just have a crack at it and have some fun. All right. The comments are going crazy. I can't catch up with what everyone's talking about. Elated Matt says, I want everyone to know I am not wearing a mask. It's my right as a living man. Maybe I should be setting an example and wearing a mask. I could put the cat head back on that I wore on the first ever episode. Would that count as a mask? If I wore that to Bunnings, would it be okay? Food for thought. Anyway, let's get cracking. So yeah, like I said, you don't need to type their answers into the chat window or anything like that. Just keep notes yourself or write them down, whatever you like. And if you want to Google the answers, Google away. I don't care. All right, so let's get started with round 1, question 1. In the game of chess, which side traditionally has the first move? Somewhat politically charged question, but round one, question one. In the game of chess, which side traditionally has the first move? And if you have any trouble hearing me, which I don't think you do because people are responding to my comments in the comments, let me know. If you miss any questions as we go along, you get a chance at the end of the round to let me know and I can repeat them for you. And if I burp occasionally, I apologize. Blame Oporto and beer. Question 2. What is the name of Dorothy's dog in The Wizard of Oz? Round 1, question 2. What is the name of Dorothy's dog in The Wizard of Oz? Pierre says any sort of face covering is okay. So wearing my giant cat head would be fine. Question 3. Taste the Rainbow is the long-running advertising slogan for which candy? Round 1, question 3. Taste the Rainbow is the long-running advertising slogan for which candy? In case you haven't noticed, I generally read out all the questions twice anyway. Question 5. Why did my voice make that strange sound? Question 5. What name is given to the layer of fine feathers that covers a very young bird and in adult birds is under the tougher exterior feathers? Question 5. Easing into it. Fairly easy so far. And if you're playing along at home, you may realize that I missed question 4. Let's have question 4 if you want to be all traditional about it. Okay, question 4. What does the term alfresco dining refer to? Question 4. What does the term alfresco dining refer to? Yes. Question 4. Okay, have a quick recap. Question number 1 was, in a game of chess, which side moves first? Question number 2 was, what's the name of Dorothy's dog in The Wizard of Oz? Question 3 was, taste the rainbow is the long-running advertising slogan for which candy? Question 4 was, what does the term al fresco dining refer to? And question 5, what name is given to the layer of fine feathers that covers a very young bird and in adult birds is under the tougher exterior feathers? Too many of those cans. This is my first can of the day, and I've had about 2 sips of it. I think I literally had opened it, had 1 sip before I started recording. Maybe I haven't had enough beer. Maybe that's the problem. All right, question 6, which is another animal. It's another question relating to the exterior of animals. There's a niche subject for you. Question 6. What name beginning with L for Larry is given to a wax secreted by the sebaceous glands of wool-bearing animals? Question 6. What name beginning with L for Lima, if we're going to get all NATO about it, is given to a wax secreted by the sebaceous glands of wool-bearing animals? It's potent then. It's not that potent. It's just a normal beer, I think. Anyway, I like the name because it reminds me of when I lived in Newtown a long time ago. Oh, there's a question on the Facebook page. Oh, it's good. People are finding the page themselves. That's good. What are we up to? Question 7. Love Shack and Rock Lobster were hit singles for which band? Question 7. Love Shack and Rock Lobster were hit singles for which band? That's kind of 3 animal questions in a row there. That's not very good quiz writing. Purant says, I'm selling masks with I'm against masks on them. That will show the pro maskers. Very good. I saw a picture the other day of someone who had a custom number plate saying anti-gov. It's like, yeah, that guy hates the government so much, he gave them extra money to tell everyone how much he hates the government. Okay, question 8. Which king in Greek mythology was blessed or cursed with the ability to turn things into gold by touching them? Question 8. Which king in Greek mythology was blessed or cursed with the ability to turn things into gold by touching them? People are liking the Facebook page and the post. That's good. Right, question 9. What does the W in the name of the shop Big W stand for? Question 9. What does the W in the name of the shop Big W stand for? Hello, Carmen, who just liked the Virtual Aussie Pub Quiz Facebook page. I hope you're tuning in. Right, so question 9, what does the W stand for in the name of the shop Big W? There's kind of 2 answers for that, which I will accept. It's only round 1. We can chill out a bit. It sort of depends on the source you get it from. Anyway, question 10. Question 10, hashtag winning. That's been a while. Question 10, the song Under Pressure by Queen features additional vocals by whom? Is it whom there or who? Anyway, question 10, the song Under Pressure by Queen features additional vocals by whom? Answers on a postcard if you know the rules of grammar relating to using who or whom. Question 11. The Australian Army Recruit, that's easy for you to say. The Australian Army Recruit Training Centre is named after its location in which suburb of Wagga Wagga, New South Wales? I know we don't say Wagga Wagga, we just say Wagga. I live in Wagga, mate. Wagga. Anyway, the Australian Army Recruit Training Centre is named after its location in which suburb of Wagga Wagga, New South Wales? All right, we've got some. Pierre's favorite band is The Whom. Simone says, whom is object of sentence? Who is subject of verb? Like in who is doing this? Whom is object of sentence? Man, maybe I have had too much beer already tonight. By whom, from whom, says Andrew. Hello, Andrew. I don't know. That has not clarified at all for me, I'm afraid. Question 12 of round 1. Kid Dynamite is a nickname given to which boxer? Question 12. Kid Dynamite, as in a small goat and something that explodes, is a nickname given to which boxer? I imagine this boxer has several nicknames, but if you look on their wiki page, there are some official or widely accepted nicknames, and Kid Dynamite is one of them, but which boxer is it? Object is who you're talking about. Whom often follows a preposition like with or by. Okay. Question 13. Antwerp, A-N-T-W-E-R-P, Antwerp is a major city in which European country? Is that really the first geography question? Well, 11 is kind of a geography question, I suppose. Question 13. Antwerp is a major city in which European country? Uh-oh, the grammar wars are kicking off in the comments. You leave my grammar out of this. He's innocent. Question 14. In November, the 5-day Hindu Festival of Light will be celebrated. What name is given to this festival? And now you can't say the Hindu Festival of Light. It has a word. I imagine it's a Hindi word. So question 14. In November, the 5-day Hindu Festival of Light will be celebrated. What name is given to this festival? I remember last year it happened. Some Indian friends of mine gave me some special sweet Indian lollies that are celebrated, sort of like little cakes, really, sort of almost like if you've made a small cake entirely out of sugar. That's what these things would have been. They were delicious, but man, you couldn't eat very many of them. And that's all part of the celebration. So question 14 was, in November, the 5-day Hindu Festival of Light will be celebrated. What name is given to this festival? Question 15. Seventh Son of a Seventh Son, Fear of the Dark, and Somewhere in Time are all albums by which band? Question 15. Seventh Son of a Seventh Son, Fear of the Dark, and Somewhere in Time are all albums by which band? First geography question I'm going to get right, says Pierrot. Cool. Question 16. It's another geography question. Which Australian island sits roughly halfway between New Zealand and New Caledonia? Question 16. Which Australian island sits roughly halfway between New Zealand and New Caledonia? Question 17. What do we call a star that rotates and emits a beam of radiation like a lighthouse? Question 17. What do we call a star that rotates and emits a beam of radiation like a lighthouse? Question 18. Who was the last Australian Prime Minister to serve a full term in office? So I guess you'd have to say they won one election and then they won the next election. That would make it a full term in office. So question 18, who was the last Australian Prime Minister to serve a full term in office? Oh God, don't tell me I got it wrong again with the numbering. Elated Matt is saying 17 or 16. 16 was which Australian island sits roughly halfway between New Zealand and New Caledonia. 17 was what do we call a star that rotates and emits a beam of radiation like a lighthouse? And question 18, who was the last Australian Prime Minister to serve a full term in office? Hope that clears it up. All right, question 19, which desert by area is the largest hot desert in the world? I say hot because Antarctica and the Arctic can be considered deserts by some definition. So question 19, which desert by area is the largest hot desert in the world? Elated Matt and Kim want 15 repeated. Okay, that was, so this is question 15. Seventh Son of a Seventh Son, Fear of the Dark, and Somewhere in Time are all albums by which band? Okay. And what are we up to? Question 20, the last question in round one. For half a point each, name the 5 members of the supergroup The Travelling Wilburys. Question 20, for half a point each, name the 5 members of the supergroup The Travelling Wilburys. Matt thought that was 14. I give up. 14 was in November, the 5-day Hindu Festival of Light will be celebrated. What name is given to this festival? 13 was Antwerp is a major city in which European country? Maybe as I go along, when I do the answers, you can work out where you went wrong. I'll give you a minute or two to think about those while I do a little bit of Facebook housekeeping. Cool. Just checking that my knowledge of the Travelling Wilburys was correct, and it is. Okay, let's get cracking. That felt more like round 3, says Davey. Wow. We'll see how we go. Everyone says round one's hard, and then we find people get like 18 points. So we'll see how we go. All right, so now we go through the answers to round one. And then we'll have round two, as is traditional. But for now, the answers to round one. Question one was, in the game of chess, which side traditionally moves first? That is white. Traditionally, if you're playing the white pieces, you get to move first. Let's not get caught up in the politics of it. That's the way it is. Maybe it'll change. I don't know. Question two, what's the name of Dorothy's dog in The Wizard of Oz? That is, of course, Toto, as in the band. Although I think it's more likely the band is named after the dog than vice versa. Question three, Taste the Rainbow is the long-running advertising slogan for which candy? The answer is Skittles. Question four, what does the term al fresco dining refer to? It's simply eating outside. Al fresco just means eating outside. I wonder what the literal translation of al fresco is. Answers on a postcard. Question five, what name is given to the layer of fine feathers that cover a very young bird, etc.? That is down, as in you might get a down pillow, which has got very soft feathers inside. Question six, what name, beginning with L, is given to a wax secreted by wool-bearing animals? That is lanolin, Lanolin, lanolin. It's wonderful stuff. It's used in all kinds of skin creams and all kinds of stuff. Good for leather treatment, etc. Question seven, Love Shack and Rock Lobster were hit singles for which band? That was the B-52s. Can you name another one by the B-52s? Off the top of my head? No. Question eight, which king in Greek mythology was blessed or cursed with the ability to turn things into gold by touching them? We still say someone has the Midas touch, and it was King Midas. He wanted to be able to turn things into gold by touching them because he thought it would be awesome. But of course, I think he touched one of his children and that turned into gold, or he touched his wife or something and he realized, oh no, it's a curse. Simone says, Private Idaho. I think you're right. The song, is it My Own Private Idaho by the B-52s? Anyway, good. No bonus point. Question 9. What does the W in the name of the shop Big W stand for? Okay. There is a bit of contention about this. So the answers I will accept are either Woolworths, because it says on their wiki page that they are a sub-branch of Woolworths and the Big W is a reference to them being part of the Woolworths group. But the original name of the shops that became Big W was somebody's Big Bargain Warehouse. So I will accept for question 9 the answer Woolworths or Warehouse. Either's fine. It's only round one. Chill out. Cool. Question 10. The song Under Pressure by Queen features additional vocals by whom? By who or whom? It is, of course, David Bowie. Well, there's another thing we can't pronounce. Is it David Bowie or David Bowie? I'm pretty sure it's David Bowie. Whom? Bowie. Anyway, question 11. The Australian Army Recruit Training Centre is named after its location in which suburb of Wagga Wagga, New South Wales? That is Kapooka. 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 It's simply referred to as going to Kapooka when you do your first training as a recruit in the army. Okay, there's a lot of unrepeatable comments in the comments about what happens when you touch things when you're King Midas, which I'm not going to repeat. Question 12. Kid Dynamite is a nickname given to which boxer? Well, name a boxer. It's Mike Tyson. 11 is the one that I missed, says elated Matt, which you didn't know anyway. Okay. So answer to question 12 was Mike Tyson. Question 13. Antwerp is a major city in which European country? It is, of course, Belgium. Antwerp is a major city in Belgium. Question 14. In November, the 5-day Hindu Festival of Light will be celebrated. What name is given to this festival? It's generally called Diwali, D-I-W-A-L-I, but it's also called Deepavali or Deepavali, as in D-E-E or D-I. But anyway, Diwali, Deepavali, or Deepavali. One of those, or some very close approximation of that, will get you a point. Question 15 was The Seventh Son of a Seventh Son, Fear of the Dark, and Somewhere in Time are all albums by which band? It is, of course, Your Friend of Mine, Iron Maiden. The answer to question 15 is Iron Maiden. Question 16, which Australian island sits roughly halfway between New Zealand and New Caledonia? Do you remember our previous question about Australian overseas territories? Because the answer is Norfolk Island. Question 17, what do we call a star that rotates and emits a beam of radiation like a lighthouse? Those are known as pulsars, P-U-L-S-A-R, as in the Nissan car. The pulsar. Question 18, who was the last Australian Prime Minister to serve a full term in office? Did you get this right? You have to go back a fair way. It was John Howard, who won the 2004 election and lost the 2007 election. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. He doesn't have to have won the next one, does he? He could, as long as he's around for the next one. Yeah, hope I didn't confuse you with my phrasing of that. But basically, if you were elected in and then you made it to the next election, that's a full term. Anyway, the last one was John Howard. The rest have all kind of come and gone and been deposed and stabbed in the back and thrown under the bus and all that other fun stuff that's been going on in Australian politics for the last 15 years or so. Question 19. Which desert by area is the largest hot desert in the world? Name a big desert. It's the Sahara by quite some distance. Oh, I thought Rudd made it to the bitter end. My memory is not what it was. And I remember he had the bit in the middle where, what's the name? Female Prime Minister, whose name escapes me. Yeah, Gillard. That's the one, Julia Gillard. She was in the middle there of his 2 terms. Okay, and then finally, question 20 for half a point each. Name the 5 members of the supergroup. You got to love a question where the maximum points are 2.5. Okay, the Traveling Wilburys consisted of George Harrison, Bob Dylan, Roy Orbison, and then the 2 everyone forgets, Tom Petty, and the one everyone forgets, Jeff Lynne. So George Harrison, Bob Dylan, Roy Orbison, Tom Petty, and Jeff Lynne of ELO fame. Awesome band. Of course they were, with all those people in it. It's a shame they didn't last longer. Anyway, and rest in peace, Roy Orbison and George Harrison. I think the others are still going. Anyway, what did you get? How did you go? Whom did you score in that round? Let me know. While I do a little bit of Facebook housekeeping again. 8 points from Pierre. That is pretty, that's got to be close to a record. Oh, Tom Petty has gone as well. Oh, I didn't know that. Let me have a look. Really? When did Tom Petty die? How did I miss that? 2017. Oh, man. Now I'm sad. I'm also sad because Peter Green died the other day, which is very sad. Most famous for being a founding, well, basically the founding member of Fleetwood Mac, named the band and everything, but also he was a cool old blues man from way back. And anyway, had a bit of a rough run at it. All right, what scores did we get? Caroline, oh boy, that was dreadful, 9. Oh, you did it right, Caroline, that's pretty good. Elated Mac got 17, Davy Jones 13, Kim 13, Simone 16.5, Chris 11.5, not too bad. Narelle 17, Stephen 12. It's a drubbing. He has fingers crossed for more geography. And Pierre got 12, and I had 8 of the first 9. Whoa. It's a second half of first round collapse. Right. Simone knew the Traveling Wilburys, but then again, she's a dag, she says. All right, let's get started with round 2. Traditionally a bit more difficult, but who knows? Joke, says Pierre. A little bit of a joke. We'll see how you go in round 2. Question 1. Which form of legal defense takes its name from the Latin word for elsewhere? Round 2, question 1. Oops, Stephen 12.5. Okay, might make all the difference in the end. Round 2, question 1. Which form of legal defense takes its name from the Latin word for elsewhere? Question 2. Mount Erebus, E-R-E-B-U-S, Mount Erebus, is the highest mountain on which continent? Question 2, Mount Erebus is the highest mountain on which continent? The Chewbacca defense. Man, that's a long time ago. South Park. Question 3, Australian Formula One driver Daniel Ricciardo currently drives for which team? Question 3, Australian Formula One driver Daniel Ricciardo currently drives for which team? And I have to say, thank God motorsport has started again. There's finally something to watch on television. We've got the MotoGP happening. Rossi got a podium. Woohoo. We've got the Formula One happening. Finally. Hello, Murder Merc. Slightly scary name, but hello. You're welcome to join in. We're just starting round 2, more or less. So question 3 was Australian Formula One driver Daniel Ricciardo currently drives for which team? And by the way, Murder Merc, you don't need to type them into the chat. You just take notes yourself of your answers, and I give you the answers at the end. Scarred Music says, who killed Jeffrey Epstein? Well, that is a trivia question. Question 4, which cheese is used to make tiramisu? Question 4, which cheese is used to make tiramisu? Question 5, not entirely sure how to pronounce this. Rosacea, R-O-S-A-C-E-A, rosacea. I'm going to say rosacea. Rosacea is a medical condition that exclusively affects which part of the body? Question 5, rosacea, R-O-S-A-C-E-A, is a medical condition that exclusively affects which part of the body? No bonus points, Pierre. And we have some fun people joining the channel. Hello, fun people. What are we up to now? Question 6. Question 6. Horseshoe, hog-nosed, monkey-faced, naked-backed, and black-bellied are all types of what? Question 6. Horseshoe, hog-nosed, monkey-faced, naked-backed, and black-bellied are all types of what? Well, looks like we've got some people who've joined our channel who are a bit starved of attention. So let's play how do we remove people from the channel with YouTube's tools. And that's how it happens. Just talk amongst yourselves while I click all these buttons. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Well, that was pretty easy. Right. So is that just removing the message or is that removing the person? That's just removing the message. Okay. Just talk amongst yourselves while I figure this out. Yeah. It doesn't actually say block, but it says hide user. So that's probably near enough. Near enough. I don't know if it's just hiding it for me or if it's hiding it for you, but anyway, we'll find out. All right. They'd probably yell answers at pub trivia, thinking they're witty. Yeah, that's true. We've all been there. Anyway, that was fun. What are we up to? Question 6 was all those things. What types of what? Question 7. What was the nickname of Walter Eugene O'Reilly on the TV show MASH? Cool, Simone. Question 7. What was the nickname of Walter Eugene O'Reilly from the TV show MASH? Oh, pretty trivially easy to hide people, so keep on coming. All right, question 9. Who is the Roman equivalent of the Greek god Poseidon? Question 8. Who is the Roman equivalent of the Greek god Poseidon? So it says to me this user's messages will be hidden, but I don't know if it's hiding them from everybody or just from me. Do we miss question 8? No, we had question 8, which was, who is the Roman equivalent of the Greek god Poseidon? How are you doing tonight, Generic Dog the Bounty Hunter? That's pretty funny because I'm wearing mirrored sunnies and I have a beard. Question 9. Which generation name is given to people born roughly between, not that they were born roughly, but they're roughly born between 1961 to 1981? So which generation name is given to people born between roughly 1961 to 1981? Oh, it is funny. It's hilarious. Okay, question 10. What is the name of Captain Hook's ship in Peter Pan? Question 10. What is the name of Captain Hook's ship in Peter Pan? What I might do is go back to here. Hey, Pierrot, I just made you a moderator, so go nuts. Okay, question 11. Which country, hey look, it's geography. Question 11, which country is bordered by Nicaragua to the north and Panama to the south? Question 11, which country is bordered by Nicaragua to the north and Panama to the south? Okay. What are we up to? What was question 9, says Chris? Question 9 was, what generation name is given to people born between roughly 1961 to 1981? And can I say they are the best generation? All right, apologies for the delay there. Got some trolls popping up in the channel, but I've given Pierrot the power to kill. So question 11 was, which country is bordered by Nicaragua to the north and Panama to the south? Question 12, what is the name of the eldest child of Morticia Addams? Question 12, what is the name of the eldest child of Morticia Addams? Must be sad being that starved for attention. Narelle, you're also now a moderator. Go nuts. Question 13, which multi-sport event for wounded, injured, or sick armored services, let me say that again. Which multi-sport event for wounded, injured, or sick armed services personnel and veterans was created by Prince Harry and held in Sydney in 2018? Question 13. Which multi-sport event for wounded, injured, or sick armed services personnel and veterans was created by Prince Harry and was held in Sydney in 2018? Okay, what's next? Let me check the Facebook page. Peter got 17 points in the first round. Very good. Question 14. Which actor was in the original A-Team series and the 1961 film Breakfast at Tiffany's? Question 14. Which actor was in the original A-Team series? That's A-Team, A-T-E-A-M series. And the 1961 film Breakfast at Tiffany's. Okay, what's next? 15. What name beginning with D for dog is given to a Greek dish where a stuffing is wrapped in vine leaves? I think the stuffing is usually rice, maybe some meat. Anyway, question 15. What name beginning with D for dog is given to a Greek dish where a stuffing is wrapped in vine leaves? They're sometimes simply called vine leaves, but there is a name beginning with D for dog for those things. Question 16. Your mandatory chemistry question. After hydrogen and helium, what is the next element on the periodic table with atomic number 3? Question 16. After hydrogen and helium, what is the next element on the periodic table with atomic number 3? You know, I don't know if I've ever actually seen the movie Breakfast at Tiffany's. I know the iconic scene, Audrey Hepburn, this other actor, but I don't know if I've ever actually seen the movie all the way through. Maybe I should. Question 17, a film I have seen all the way through. In the film The Wizard of Oz, the major characters fall asleep after walking through a field of what? Question 17, in the film The Wizard of Oz, the major characters fall asleep after walking through a field of, a field of what? My team of impromptu moderators are doing sterling work. And I just realized there's only 19 questions in round 2. How did that happen? Let me very quickly pull a question out of my hat. Okay. Question 18. I don't have too much pop culture, but we're going to have a bit of pop culture in this one. Question 18. Madiba, the musical, M-A-D-I-B-A, Madiba, the musical, is based on the life of which public figure? And I'm going to spontaneously make up question 19. Which actress, famous for, among other things, Gone with the Wind, died a couple of days ago, aged 104 years old? Question 19. Which actress, famed for Gone with the Wind, among other things, died recently at the age of 104? Don't have too much pop culture around. We did have a bit of pop culture towards the end of this one. And finally, question 20. Please correctly spell the name of Evel Knievel, American stunt performer and painter. Question 20. Please correctly spell the name of Evel Knievel, American stunt performer and painter. And I want his first name and his second name spelled correctly, please. Not his actual name. I guess that's probably his stage name. That's probably worth looking up. Yes, correctly spell the name of that person. Yes, it is a stage name. He was Robert Craig Knievel, but I would like you to correctly spell the name Evel Knievel, please. Thank you. All right, that brings us to the end of round 2. It's slightly exciting by an attack of the trolls halfway through, but they all seem to have gone away. Been dealt with admirably by some rapidly deputized moderators. Did anyone have one of those Evel Knievel dolls with the wind-up stunt cycle? I do remember that. I think I remember the plastic man with the stripe down him. Yeah, vaguely. My mate had one, says Matt. I was envious. I remember I had a glow-in-the-dark Danger Mouse car that I bought on a trip to the UK when I found 20 pounds in a bin. This was a defining moment of my young life. I was probably 9 years old at the time. Anyway. Okay, I'll give you another few seconds to think about your answers to round 2. If you need any of those repeated, I know it got a bit messy in the middle there. Let me know if you need any repeated or clarified. Otherwise, we'll go through the answers very soon. And you are correct, Caroline. Danger Mouse was the best. They have done a whole new series of Danger Mouse I discovered a couple of weeks ago on this very pod show trivia thing. And I haven't actually looked it up. Apparently it's not bad. It's got Alexander Armstrong, I think. Anyway, I'll have to look it up. The original was brilliant. Hopefully they haven't made it horrible with the second one. All right, speaking of second one, round 2. The answers thereto. Round 2, question 1 was, which form of legal defense takes its name from the Latin word for elsewhere? Well, if you think about it, legal defense where you say, I wasn't there, I was somewhere else. It's the word alibi, A-L-I-B-I, alibi. Question 2 was, Mount Erebus is the highest mountain on which continent? That is Antarctica. Question 3, Australian Formula 1 driver Daniel Ricciardo currently drives for which team? That is Renault. Question 4, which cheese is used to make tiramisu? That is mascarpone, M-A-R-S-C-A-P-O-N-E, which is the only cheese you can use to disguise a horse. Mascarpone. Question 5, rosacea is a medical condition that exclusively affects which part of the body? It is the face. It's a kind of red flushing condition, skin condition that only affects the face. Question 6, horseshoe, hog-nosed, monkey-faced, naked-backed, and black-bellied are all types of what? Well, I think the horseshoe, one of these, has had a bit of bad press lately with COVID. They are all types of bat. Bat, in German, der Fledermaus. Yes, question 6, the answer is bats. Chris says, could you repeat them all? I got lost somewhere. Well, the bad news is no, but the good news is yes, because I read them all out before I read out the answers. So if you're very quick with your pen, you'll beat me. So question 6 was, the answer is bats. Question 7, what was the name of Walter Eugene O'Reilly from the TV show, MASH? Give you a second. What was his nickname? He was Radar O'Reilly. He was the one who could hear the choppers coming before anybody else could. Question 8, who is the Roman equivalent of the Greek god Poseidon? Well, Poseidon is the god of the sea, and the Roman god of the sea is Neptune. Question 9, which generation name is given to people born roughly between 1961 and 1981? That is Generation X, the best generation. I say because I belong to it. Oh God, Elated Matt has started on the cheese jokes. How do you handle Welsh cheese? Carefully. There's a whole series of those. Anyway, question 11. No, question 10. If we're going to be traditional about it. What is the name of Captain Hook's ship in Peter Pan? You'll probably smack yourself on the forehead if you didn't get this. It was the Jolly Roger. Question 11. Which country is bordered by Nicaragua to the north and Panama to the south? It is Costa Rica. Question 12. What is the name of the eldest child of Morticia Addams? That is Pugsley. P-U-G-S-L-E-Y. Pugsley is the big boy child in the Addams family. No points for getting his surname, I'm going to say. Question 13. Which multi-sport event for armed services personnel and veterans created by Prince Harry held in Sydney 2018? That is the Invictus Games. I-N-V-I-C-T-U-S. Invictus, which I assume shares the same root as invincible, means unstoppable, I would guess. Seems like a pretty awesome thing for, putting meaning back into the lives of people who have had their lives really disrupted by injury. Question 14. Which actor was in the original A-Team series and the 1961 film Breakfast at Tiffany's? That was George Peppard. I love it when a plan comes together. Question 15. What name beginning with D is given to a Greek dish where stuffing is wrapped in vine leaves? That is dolmades. D-O-L-M-A-D-E-S. Dolmades. And they're delicious. Question 16. After hydrogen and helium, what is the next element on the periodic table with atomic number 3? It is lithium, as found in batteries and antidepressants and lots of other things. The answer to question 16 is lithium. Question 17. In the film The Wizard of Oz, the major characters fall asleep after walking through a field of what? The answer is poppies. They fall asleep after walking through a field of poppies. Question 18. Madiba, the musical, is based on the life of which public figure? The answer is Nelson Mandela. I assume Madiba was a nickname of his. I don't know. Haven't seen it. Question 19. Which actress, famous for Gone with the Wind, among other things, died recently, aged 104? That was our spontaneous bonus question 19. The answer is Olivia de Havilland. Olivia de Havilland. Born in 1916 in Tokyo. Man, she would have been a really good Who Am I? Anyway. And died aged 104 in Paris. She was a citizen of the UK, the United States, and France. She had 2 husbands, and her sister was Joan Fontaine. Anyway, there you go. So the answer is Olivia de Havilland. And question 20, please correctly spell the name of Evel Knievel. How did you go? It is spelled E-V-E-L space K-N-I-E-V-E-L. So I'll have that again. It's E-V-E-L space K-N-I-E-V-E-L. So if you got half of that right, I guess you get half a point. Pierre says lithium is also found in Nevermind, which is a very clever reference to that band from Seattle, started the grunge movement. Foo Fighters drummer guy. God, what's the name? Holy cow, that's a terrible mental blank I'm having about that. Anyway, Nirvana, of course. Far out. I knew that. Okay, how'd you go in round 2? Did anybody manage to correctly spell Evel Knievel? Isn't it sad that I couldn't think of the name of the band, but I could think of all the obscure facts that go along with it? David Jones got 11. Caroline got 10.5. Not too bad. Grohl, Dave Grohl, that's the one. Chris bombed out. He got 7. Why is my phone beeping rudely to tell me the weather? I don't care about the weather as long as it stopped raining. Simone got 13.5. Elated Matt said Evil, E-V-I-L. Yeah, that's kind of the trap that you fall into spelling that. It's E-V-E-L, which I think is obviously based on his surname. Norel 10 was distracted by tools. Stephen 12, well, it could be a comeback in the third round. Elated Matt, 13.5. Pierre got 8, but he wants an extra point for the Nirvana joke. I don't know. If I give a point for that, then I have to give a point for Matt's cheese joke, and then where would we be? Pierre got 2. So it was Pierre who got 8, sorry. Kim got 13. I think that's everybody. Slightly exciting round. I mean, I have to say it was nice having 25 people on the channel, but not when 10 of them are tools. Okay, very good. Let's move on to round 3. This is our generally quite difficult / silly / trick, although I haven't had a trick question in a while. I will try and put a trick question in next week just to make round 3 live up to itself instead of just having obscure ones. But anyway, here we go. Round 3, question 1. Which Australian city was briefly known as Batmania before receiving its current name? Round 3, question 1. Which Australian city was briefly known as Batmania, B-A-T-M-A-N-I-A, before receiving its current name? Pretty cool to live in Batmania. I'm trying to think of more cheese jokes now. There's a whole bunch of them. I can't. Anyway. Oh, yeah. What cheese can you use to tempt a bear out of a cave? Come on, bear. Come on, bear. Question 2. Which city of the USA is named after the biblical capital of Egypt? Question 2. Which city of the USA is named after the biblical capital of Egypt? Question 3. Vexillology, V-E-X-I-L-L-O-L-O-G-Y, vexillology is the study of what? What cheese is made backwards? We all know that one. That's Edam. It's the word made, spelled backwards. Question 3 was vexillology is the study of what? V-E-X-I-L-L-O-L-O-G-Y. Question 4. In which year did Princess Diana die? Question 4. In which year did Princess Diana die? Jesus of Nazareth. Praise Jesus. Okay, question 5. What is the largest living species of lizard in the world? Question 5. What is the largest living species of lizard in the world? And by living species, I mean not like dinosaurs and things that are extinct. Living as in it's a current species that you can see out there in the wild and in zoos and whatever. So question 5. What is the largest living species of lizard in the world? You saying vexillology triggered my Echo Dot. I guess it sounds a bit like Alexa. If I say Alexa, does that do it? Alexa, buy me some beer. I'm sorry if that made everyone's thing freak out. Question 6. Who became the youngest player to be in a Football World Cup winning side, aged 17 years old, when his team won in 1958? All right, it's round 3. Give me a break. Question 6. Who became the youngest player to be in a Football World Cup winning side, aged 17 years old, when his team won in 1958? After the French dairy exploded, there was debris everywhere. Very good. I like it. Question 7. What is the name of the motel in which much of the 1960 Alfred Hitchcock film Psycho is set? Question 7. What is the name of the motel in which much of the 1960 Alfred Hitchcock film Psycho is set? I don't know if that's a round 3 question. That's a pretty standard trivia question, that one. All these cheese jokes are reminding me, if you have a trebuchet, you know, it's not, you can't actually call it a trebuchet unless it's from the Trebu region of France. Otherwise, it's just a sparkling catapult. Question 8. Goa is a state of India. Goa, G-O-A, is a state of India. But for about 450 years prior to 1961, it was an overseas territory of which other country? Goa is a state of India, but for about 450 years prior to 1961, it was an overseas territory of which other country? Still has quite an effect on the way the government works there and the food and all kinds of stuff. Terrible jokes. Gotta love them. Right. Question 9. Complete this line from an Alan Morissette song. From an Alan Morissette. Get it together. Question 9. Complete this line from an Alanis Morissette song. Okay. Question 9. Complete this line from an Alanis Morissette song. It's meeting the man of my dreams and then what? Question 9. Complete this line from an Alanis Morissette song. It's meeting the man of my dreams and then what? I'll give you a sec to think about that one. And because it's song lyrics, you're going to have to get it pretty much bang on to get the point. And then question 10, the last question of round 3. It's a 50-50 question. I don't believe it. Anyway, question 10. Will the year 2100 be a leap year? Question 10. Will the year 2100 be a leap year? Simple as that. Pierre's going for his best ever round 3 score. The fam will be home soon, Narelle. Yes, that's true. In fact, I think I can hear the pitter-patter of enormous feet crashing around the living room, which means that the family is home. Slamming doors, screaming children, all that fun stuff. So question 10, will the year 2100 be a leap year? All right, give you a minute or two to think about those. I always say a minute or two. I really mean about 15 seconds. Have a swig of my beer. Wander over to the Facebook. Peter got 15 in round 2. Pretty good. Right. Checking nothing bad is happening on the Facebook page. Nope, it's all good. Okay, let's go through the answers to round 3, and then we'll have our Who Am I? And that'll be the end. Okay, round 3, question 1. Which Australian city was briefly known as Batmania before receiving its current name? That is, of course, Melbourne, named after the explorer John Batman. I think there's still bits of Melbourne that have his name, maybe streets or a suburb or something. Excuse me, beer. Question 2, which city of the USA is named after the biblical capital of Egypt? Well, the biblical capital of Egypt was Memphis. So it's Memphis, Tennessee. If you just said Memphis, that's fine. Very apt given this situation. Yes, Batmania. Melbourne is all a bit Batmania at the moment. Question 3, vexillology is the study of flags. Flags as in country flags and that kind of thing. Question 4, in which year did Princess Diana die? That was 1997. Question 5, what is the largest living species of lizard in the world? The answer is the Komodo dragon. So the answer to question 5 is the Komodo dragon. But wait, I hear you say, what about the saltwater crocodile? The saltwater crocodile is not a lizard. It's a crocodilian. The question wasn't, what's the largest reptile? If it was, the answer would probably be the saltwater crocodile or the green anaconda, both of which have been recorded at over 6 meters in length. But the question was, what's the largest living species of lizard? And the answer is the Komodo dragon. Question 6. Who became the youngest player to be in a Football World Cup winning side aged 17 years old when his team won in 1958? Well, that World Cup was somewhat famous because it marked the arrival on the world stage of a certain Pele. I should have said you could have had a bonus point if you got his full name. Anyway, Pele is his nickname. His real name is Edson Arantes do Nascimento. He was 17 years old, selected to play in the World Squad for Brazil. They put him out in the grand final of the World Cup, and he scored 2 goals, aged 17, in the grand final of the World Cup. Holy cow. Anyway, yes, Pele is the answer to that question. Question 7. What is the name of the motel in which much of the 1960 Alfred Hitchcock film Psycho is set? That is the Bates Motel, B-A-T-E-S Motel. I don't know about you, but my family, whenever we go out to any kind of dodgy hotel, we always say, oh, the Bates Motel. Question 8. Goa is a state of India, but for 450 years prior to 1961, it was an overseas territory of which other country? I did not know this. I knew Goa had its own kind of special food and strange little government and stuff, but it's because it used to be an overseas territory of Portugal. All right. Be a name of matches Nazi then, Pierre. I'm going to call it a grand final. It's just a final. Okay, it's just a final. Question 8, I should say, was Portugal. Question 9, complete this line from an Alanis Morissette song. Not an Alan Morris song, whoever he is. Okay, so the line is, it's meeting the man of my dreams and then meeting his beautiful wife. So to get the point, you need to have all 4 words, meeting his beautiful wife. It's from that song. Isn't it ironic, don't you think? Let's not get bogged down in what is and what isn't ironic. Anyway, question 10. Will the year 2100 be a leap year? The reason why there's a 50-50 question in round 3 is because the answer to this is very annoying and persnickety. So the answer to question 10, will the year 2100 be a leap year? The answer is no, it will not be a leap year, because although it is divisible by 4, so you would think it would be a leap year, century years, as in if they're divisible by 100, are only leap years if they are also exactly divisible by 400. So the year 2000 was, and 2400 will be, but the years 2100, 2200, and 2300 won't be leap years. Yes, it's round 3. It's designed to be annoying. But anyway, so the answer to question 10 is no, 2100 will not be a leap year. Went the wrong 50-50 on Spain, Portugal, said Narelle. Okay, let me know how you went in round 3. I don't think it was too difficult this week. Pierrot is scratching his chin. Hopefully I explained the whole leap year rule thing correctly. If a year is divisible by 4, then it's generally a leap year. But century leap years, as in if they're divisible by 100, are only leap years if they are also divisible by 400. There you go. Pierre got 6. Kim got 4. Caroline got 5. Pierre got 3 points. Davey said, WTF, about something. Who knows? Probably the last question. Kim got 4. Pierre got 6. Simone got 5. Lady Mac got 5. Simone thought this round 3, not too bad. Narelle and Stephen both 8, but different answers correct. Davy Jones got 4. Chris hangs his head in shame 2. Don't feel bad, Chris. It's round 3. Like I say, if you get any of them right, you're doing pretty well. All right, so we'll move on to our Who Am I question. If you happen to be in a tiebreaker situation, you can use this as a tiebreak. And the way that will work is I'm going to read out clues about a person. If you think you know who it is, have a crack at it. If you're right, you win the tiebreaker. But if you're wrong, you lose the tiebreaker. So you want to be quick, but you need to be correct. And if you're not in a tiebreak situation, then just have a crack and see how you go. All right, so here we go. Who am I? I was born in 1974. Generation X represent. Sorry. Who am I? I was born in 1974 in Sydney, growing up in Willoughby on the lower North Shore. I graduated from St. Aloysius College in Milsons Point in 1992 and went on to study law at the University of New South Wales between 1993 and 1997, graduating 31st out of 250 students. At the age of 19, I wrote my first book, which was rejected by every major publisher in the country. I self-published a run of 1,000 copies using a bank loan. I was discovered when a commissioning editor from Pan Macmillan found a self-published copy of my first book in a bookstore and signed me to a 2-book deal. I have subsequently sold over 7 million copies of my books in over 20 languages. My books have been the best-selling Australian titles of 2005, 2009, and 2013. In 2011, my book, Scarecrow and the Army of Thieves, was the biggest-selling fiction title, including international authors, in Australia. I am Matthew Riley, who writes, I'm not going to say lowbrow, I wouldn't call it lowbrow, but he writes very exciting fiction. It's basically one long action scene. If you like the action scenes in movies and you don't like all the boring plot development bits, he's the author for you. All right, just one. Who am I this week? So, hope you got that one. Hope you're not still in a tiebreak after that. Pierrot says, I didn't know any of that until you mentioned Scarecrow. Well, there you go. I think he's written some stuff for TV and movies and stuff now as well. Good on him. Okay, so thanks for listening in. Hope you had fun. We had an exciting second round when we got invaded by trolls and beat them all away. If you do want to be informed of future events, go to the Facebook page. Peter got 8 in round 3. Not too bad. Pretty good, actually. If you want to go, go to the Facebook page, Virtual Aussie Pub Quiz. And if you subscribe to that, then, or like that, or whatever it is on Facebook, then you will be informed of future events. Or just subscribe to this YouTube channel, or just tune in a bit before 7:30 on a Tuesday night. Narelle 35, Stephen 32.5. Nearly Stephen. Muchas gracias all. Goodbye. Thank you. 26 for the night, says Pierre. Pretty good. 35, says Simone. We should keep some kind of scoreboard. I think Simone would probably be the winner. All right. Yes, you're new. I don't know how they found the page, Simone. I guess it's just a YouTube thing. Maybe there's a way that you can find live streams on YouTube that I don't know. But anyway, they were pretty easy to deal with. YouTube's got good tools for it, from the looks of it. Anyway, if you were a new listener this week, come back again next week. It's always good to have more regulars. It's all fun. Glad you enjoyed it, Carmen and John. Hope you had fun, Caroline. Who else was new this week? Chris was new. Hope you had fun. And I'll see you all next week. Bye.